Hello and welcome back to Indeed Gamer. The cities not flow, tweaking, modeling, and creating some fucking cities to bring them to the 21st century, even if they're stuck in the Middle Ages. Bref, tout ça pour dire que je suis en train de bidouiller, comme d'habitude, je bidouille. Mais il y a plein de choses à faire. Là, je me suis rendu compte que le courriel, certaines normales n'étaient pas du bon côté. Donc j'ai dû refaire ça. Mais j'ai aussi mis des buildings un peu partout. Ce matin, hier, j'ai travaillé sur ceux-là, qui sont assez consistants et il y en a un peu partout, des similaires. Donc le but c'était de bidouiller un peu avec ça. Il va falloir que je mette cette préfecture et ce château sur une petite colline, je pense. Parce qu'ils sont quand même sur un truc fortifié. Mais évidemment, maintenant que je caste, tout va être beaucoup plus lent. Non, je vais ice. Ça a l'air pas mal ça. Donc maintenant je vais mettre toute cette petite plateforme à cette hauteur là. Parce que là en plus je sais qu'il y a une petite montée. Et donc il va falloir qu'elle se fasse graduellement. Je vais aller voir une compagnie qui fait de la photogrammétrie, vu que je suis allé voir Alexia. Et donc, on a bien parlé, ça avait l'air intéressant, je suis sûr on pourrait faire des choses ensemble, surtout que je suis allé les voir, j'ai entendu parler d'eux grâce à Mathieu. Et donc il y a tout ce côté potentiel business à mettre en place, à continuer de mettre en place, qui s'ajoute. Et c'était intéressant de les rencontrer, ils ont l'air de faire des trucs assez cool. Là il y a un parking si je me souviens bien, et là il y a encore les remparts qui montent jusque de ce côté-là. D'ailleurs ça c'est à ce niveau-là, parce que donc il y a toute la côte qui monte jusque là. Et ça donc ce serait tout au même niveau, mais pas ici, quelque chose du genre. Donc c'était intéressant de les rencontrer, c'était cool de voir Alexia aussi. En fait, vous vous en foutez un peu de ma vie. Pourtant, il y a tellement de choses trop à dire. Ça, c'est le rond-point de l'hôpital. Ah, mais alors, le rond-point de l'hôpital, il est pas au bon endroit, non? Ah, ça, c'est ce qui descend, non? Bah non. Ah bah si, ça descend. Donc ça c'est en haut. Et donc si vous regardez bien Google Maps en fait, donc ça c'est en bas, c'est la bas de la colline. Et donc ça veut dire que là ça va monter tout doucement. Mais donc là ça monte parce que là aussi, là il y a l'escalier qui monte jusqu'à la gate. qui revient de ce côté. Donc ça, il va falloir faire les murs, les fortifications. Puis j'ai aussi vu Mathieu, avec qui on essaye de mettre en place les choses. Mais c'est pareil, on a tous nos vies. On a tous nos vies. Chacun s'y retrouve plus ou moins dans la vie des autres. Et en général, c'est plus moins que plus. Et c'est pour ça que c'est difficile de mettre en place des choses, même si finalement, c'est bien parce que ça questionne la perception du salariat. Il y a plein de choses à faire, mais il y a plein de choses que les gens ne veulent pas faire, et c'est pour ça que les contrats sont là pour imposer ça aux gens. Mais après, si tu les imposes, ben, les gens sont moins motivés. Dès que tu imposes quelque chose, les gens sont comme alors qu'en fait, si tu leur dis que tout ça est possible, au bout d'un moment, ils se disent « Oh, mais pourquoi donc je le fais pas ?» En fait, il faut vendre le truc en disant qu'il est inaccessible. C'est là où tu mets des prix de fou. Et c'est ça qu'Apple a bien compris. Bon, on en est où? Donc ça va être un peu plus par là. Ouais. Et même peut-être un peu plus par là. Et ouais, il faut arrêter de chercher. Il faut arrêter de chercher à faire comprendre les choses aux gens. Parce qu'ils veulent pas comprendre. Quand tu leur expliques, il faut faire de l'offre de service. Parce que quand tu leur expliques, eh ben, ils savent déjà tout. Alors que s'ils se rendent compte qu'en fait ils savent pas tout et qu'ils veulent tes cours, et ben là, ils viennent te payer. Ils payent l'avion. Et ils font... Il faut juste vendre son service comme il faut. Et quelle meilleure façon de vendre son service qu'en faisant donc là il y a la côte, l'escalier est par là. Et puis ça c'est la côte qui monte vers... En fait c'est ça la clé du marketing. C'est ça le marketing. Pardon, je me répète.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to be
Et en
showing you how it's
général,
possible for boats to actually float in the air. Recently on the internet there was a
boats
picture of a
floating in the
sailboat
air.
floating in the sky above the horizon, and it drove the internet crazy trying to figure out what was actually happening there. Was it
Fata
fake?
Morgana.
Was it actually a real picture? So let's head out to the ocean to see if we can actually see any
Bref.
boats floating above the horizon.
I
Okay,
need
so
to
I'm here in the
change those
ocean to see if I can
buildings.
see see if we can see any that
because
look like they're above the horizon.
I think they're nearly tall enough. It's just that the UV mapping needs to be updated, improved. Et donc c'est multiplié juste par deux. What does it do?
So it looks like some of these boats that are really far away, they seem to be a little bit above the horizon, but not a really strong effect to it. Now
should
on
have
days when
less,
this effect is really strong, here's what it can look like. You can see that the
less
boats
floors.
seem to float above the horizon.
Ooh,
So in order for a
marvels.
ship to appear as if it's
And
above
so
the
if
horizon, some bending of light has to occur. Now you remember that light doesn't always travel at the speed of light when it's moving through different materials. Depending on the density of the material, it moves at different speeds. And what that amounts to is as it passes through a material, it
But
bends
so
with
there's
its different density.
only two.
And cold air has a
Probably
higher
want to have
refractive index
four.
than warm air. So what that means is on cold days when the water is cooling the air just above it and the air is hotter above the cold air, it means that you can actually see things that are even below the horizon. And it can actually lift that image up higher than the horizon itself. Now the effect of these ships floating is called fata morgana, and it basically means that it's a mirage, but it's a little bit different than a mirage. A mirage is when you see a mirrored image of an object far off in the distance, and a mirage is caused when there's hot air on the ground and cold air above it. But this effect that I'm showing here is when there's cold air below and hot air above, and it actually bends light the opposite way than in a mirage. Now in order to show you how this effect is happening, I'm going to use some sugar in water, and the sugar is going to create a gradient from the bottom going upward. So at the bottom it's going to be a higher refractive index than above it. And so it's going to create the same effect that we're seeing when the ships are floating above the horizon. You can see the bending of light that occurs when I shine a laser through the water.
It's cool, it kind of created
It's actually pulling the laser light down.
a small randomization-ish.
For example, suppose that this metal ball here is my ship, and the bottom of this square acrylic box here is the horizon or the ocean. So you can see it
I guess
still.
I should do the
you
same
can
with
see
them.
You can see it. Now I'm below the box, but I can still see the ball. Okay, so there's the ball. Now as I move down, I'm going to get below the edge of the box, but I can still see the ball. So I'm a few inches below it, and I can still see the ball right there. It's pretty cool.
Pretty
In fact,
cool.
a little bit better than laser light, you can follow the path of the bottom corner of the box and look how bent it looks. But watch as I get down low, watch the background here, watch how it lenses everything.
So Fatali Morgana is just the illusion that happens either over
So you can see the edge going
Yeah,
up
that's
there, but there's actually
over the
not a
water
slope
or
there.
in the
It's actually
deserts.
just flat. You see it's just flat like that. Now the ability to sometimes see things below the horizon occurs more than you think. In fact, at sunsets on the ocean, a lot of times when you see the bright red sun, when the sun is at the lowest point, the sun is actually below the horizon. It's actually below the curvature of the earth. But because of the bending of light, it actually appears above it. The reason it appears above the horizon is because of how our brains are wired to think. We're wired to know that light
They are
usually moves
wired
in
to
straight lines.
think.
So when we see something above us, we expect that that's the angle of light coming in at us. When in reality, it's actually from below and the light's just curving. But because our brains don't think that way, we assume it's at a straight line wherever we're seeing it. And this effect can be pretty strong sometimes. Sometimes you can see mountains that normally you would never be able to see because of the curvature of the earth. You can actually see them above the horizon. And when the effect is really strong, it can actually even flip the image upside down. So sailors have even reported seeing boats coming in upside down floating above the horizon, thinking they're ghost ships. Because of the bending of light that can occur near the horizon,
People can be so dumb.
whether there's hot air or cold air there, it can bend the light up or down.
But you just find an
usually
explanation
can't trust
wherever you
stuff see on the
can, or
horizon.
you
That's why astronomers
can
don't
make
really
it
trust when they
happen.
see a star on the horizon.
It's just that
They
it's a
try to
tiny
aim as
monkey
far
brain.
up straight as they can in the sky
So we
when
still
they're taking
believe in
measurements on stars.
the
locations to
fantasy
start and
of
stuff.
the world.
And it also makes it a difficult proof if you're trying to prove the Earth is round using the horizon, because depending on the temperature of the ocean that day and the temperature of the air above it, you can get light bending in either direction, so you can't really tell if something's below or above the horizon a lot of times. Now, this effect is also called looming, and it can cause things to appear bigger than they actually are, smaller than they are. It can actually occur and make them flip upside down as well. Because this effect is dependent on the temperature of the air, whenever the temperature of the air changes, it changes the image as well. And so it frequently makes things appear ghost-like. It can cause them to change as you're seeing them and even disappear. So you'll be seeing a ship on the horizon and then suddenly it disappears. So remember, you can't always trust your eyes. And thanks again for watching another episode of the Action Lab. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and also hit the bell so that you can be notified when I release my latest video. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, bye. So that's a video about, I don't know, it seems to be some music. I thought it was going to be some reading of a kind of book, but it is not. Oh well, kind of bored of doing that. So probably YouTube is gonna pick on that and say, haha, you can't do that. And I'm like, I didn't know. But that means I have to put something else. Close. That's not bad. That's better. And so it's kind of funny because there's not much to say, huh? When you come down to it, you're just doing, and so people think it's just automatically done, even if they don't understand what you're doing. they believe it's just like that, it's just created like that, it's just so easy, right? And you're like, yes, if it would be easy, you would have done it already, but we're still waiting. Okay, what's next? Yeah, those buildings, okay, so they've been, this one could be going this way as well. No. Comme ça, I guess. And anyway, it's gonna be time for me to go. Oh, and my camera stops as well.